Welcome to Kharis Tutorials. I'm Simeon Grace. It's the color red season, and that's because Valentine is right by the corner. And this gorgeous is what we're going to be making today. And I used a stretchy material called original crepe. That doesn't mean you cannot use any other material. Of course, you can go ahead, even Ankara or lace fabric will be to be nice. And I used 2 yards to make mine. You might be needing more than that. Also, the sleeve is not done in this tutorial, so we are making just this dress. And if you'd like me to make the tutorial of the sleeve, kindly leave that in the comment section. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and click your bell to get notified anytime I upload a new video. Let's move to the cutting table. Alright, the first thing I have here is the back bodies, which I already cut out on my fabric. I am quickly going to explain because the fabric I'm working with is a stretch fabric, so I do not need the zipper on it. But if you're going to use a material that requires zipper, it means you're going to add your zipper allowance to the back folding. So what I have here is the total length of my dress, which is 58 inches plus seam allowance. Then I have my shoulder measurements, the bust circumference, on the bust circumference, the waist circumference, the hip measurement. So the hip measurement here is 9.5 inches. And also because the dress is not going to have any slits, I took the 9.5 inches straight down. So there's no point, there's no need to reduce, at the base of the dress to reduce the 9.5 inches, since it's not going to have a slit. So that's what I have for the back, which I have done. To go, if you are just a beginner and you want to learn how to go about drafting the bodies, I have different tutorials on dressmaking, a gown, a straight gown, short and long, so you can just watch to get that. Also, I have cut out the front bodies, but from the half length. The total length here is 56 inches, but first I have the underbust length of 12 inches plus my seam allowance is 12.5 inches. Here is my 12.5 inches. So the half bodies, that's the half length, is going to be padded, where we have the yoke, the basque and all that. So what I did to the front here is from the 12.5 inches, I just brought the back fabric down so that I can place my fabric for the front, and I cut exactly the same thing since the back has no zipper. So I've done the front and the back. In a nutshell, without the back, what I just did here is minus 12.5 inches, and I took the 9.5 inches to the base of the dress. So that's for the front and for the back. Now we're going to be working on the half bodies now, which I'm going to draft it out first. Now this is the half length for the front, and what I have here is my bust circumference measurement divided by 4. So I added extra 2 inches, or your bust circumference measurement plus 8 inches divided by 4, and that will give us 10.5. Now after the 10.5 inches, I added extra 2 inches, and that's because the front has the padded area. So what I have now is 12.5 inches, which means I've added 4 extra inches to the original measurement. Now I have 12.5 inches, which is the underbust length, and I added 1 inch, which is my seam allowance. Here is my 8.5 inches, which is going to be the armhole length, and I am going to bring out my bust from there. So this is my bust circumference measurement. The under bust circumference measurement divided by 4 plus 2 inches. And I also added another 2 inches. So I have 11 inches now. Our measurement for the shoulder is going to start from the 2 inches, and it's going to be shoulder divided by 2, which I already have my 7 inches. So to connect this, we're going to we need to get the midpoint for this. I have different tutorials on padded dress, so you can watch some of my videos in order to learn more about padded dress, either off shoulder or with shoulder. I have tutorial on princess darts, bustier, and also off shoulder padded, then your normal padded. Now at this point, I'm coming back by 0.25, not up to 0.5 inches. It's not up to half an inch, just 0.25, so I can easily connect my armhole, then back to the top. So I'm going to cut it out, the armhole, then the bust, and the under bust circumference measurement. Now let's cut this first. So we are going to be working with this. Now, here I have the length of 7.5 inches, which I am going to cut out. Is going to serve as the yoke. So I'm going to be cutting out the 7.5 inches. Now here is my 7.5 inches, and I need to come back by 2 inches. You remember we added extra 2 inches that affected this part, so we do not need that 2 inches on this part of our dress. We only need the 2 inches to take effect on the padded part, which is this. So I'm going to come back by 2 inches on this so I can trim it out. Now from what we have here, I'm still going to be bringing this up. You can come up as much as you want, like 2 inches or thereabouts. So I'll be taking 2 inches up, and here is my 2 inches, and I'm going to be working with the width of 4 inches on this point. 4 inches. So that from this point, you can always reduce this. You can reduce to 3.5. You can reduce to any measurement of your choice. So I'm going to be curving it like this to cut out. Like I said, this can be reduced to 3.5 inches. It can be reduced to 3 inches depending on what you want. So you can either take your 3.5 inches like this, or you go with the 4 inches. Also, I am going to be bringing out the neck design. The neck design, for the depth, I'm going to work with 2.5 inches, and I am going to work with a width of 2.5 inches. And remember to slant with 1 inch. That's from the 2.5 inches. You can use your any of your curve ruler to do this. So now, okay, I am going to cut to 3.5 inches. You can increase this if you want to, and you can always reduce. And also the neck. Now, what I have here exactly is what I'll be placing on my fabric, and I'll be cutting it out the same way it is. Now, moving to this, we are going to be folding our pattern, and we are going to fold based on the bust span. Bust span is the measurement from one nipple point to the other one. So the measurement is 7 inches, and I added half an inch to make it 4 inches. 7 inches divided by 2 will give us 3.5 inches. So here I have 4. Now, remember, this is our under bust line. So I need to get the nipple points from the under bust, which is 3 inches. This varies. It varies, so you can always measure to get either from the shoulder, but since you do not have the shoulder now, just measure from your under bust to get the nipple points. Now, what I am going to do is, remember we added our seam allowance, so I am bringing it to the very end, and here I am going to take half an inch. So I have 3.5 inches, and here I am going to take 3 inches, which means I took 1 inch here. So here I am going to curve it out. From here I am coming to the nipple points as well. Now, cutting it like this, we are good. At the same time, you can still come in by 0.25 here at the base. 0.25, not up to half an inch like I told us earlier. Not up to 0.5, not up to half an inch. So I am going to be cutting out this. To have better idea on how to cut a padded blouse, I have several tutorials like that are going to help you. Just type any of the padded that you want on the channel, either off shoulder, padded blouse, or any of your choice. Anyways, now this is the side. We are still working on the middle piece. Here is going to be the middle. It's going to be the middle, and already we have minus 7.5. Remember what we took here was 7.5 inches. So from the 7.5, you can still come down as low as what you want. Like, you can still come down as low as 8.5, or even 9 inches. So this is 8.5 that I'm working with. And of course, at the base here, at this base here, you can always come up as well. So it depends on what you want at the middle parts of your dress. So if you still want to come down, coming down very much like that, you can still come in that way. So at this base, you can always come in like this. That's if you're going with 1 inch. And on this point, you can always, and if you still want it to come down the more, so it means what I have here is 1 inch and 1 inch. So what I have left is 4 inches. So just in case you still want it to be shorter than this, like, you can still come in by, let's say, 1 inch at the base and also 1 inch, at the top and also at the base. So if you are still coming in, it means you're going this way. This is where we are coming to. So it means we are going like this, and also at this point it means we are going the same way. All right, so that means we are going to be cutting it out in this manner. So it depends on what you want. If you still want it to go in, good. If you want to bring it out, fine as well. So I don't want it to be, because that means we took 2 inches here. So I don't want 2 inches. I think I'm fine with 1.5 is okay for me on both sides. Yes, 1.5, 1.5. Like this, and also and one more thing, it is not compulsory that you have the same measurements at the base and also on the top. It is not compulsory. Okay, you can have 2 inches here and then 2.5 here. You can have 2.5 here and decide to have 3 inches here. So it depends on what you want. So you can always go with the measurement of your choice. If you still want to bring it down, you are good. So now what we have here is what I'll be placing on my fabric. This is the base down, and like that, you can see what we have now. So I'm going to be cutting each of it on my fabric. Now on the fabric, the fabric I'm working with, like I said, is a stretch material though, but I am going to be cutting out my interface for this and also for this, and that means I have lining. I'm going to be working with my lining for this and also for this. Also, I'm going to be working with a ready-made cup for this. So let me place it and then show you the outcome. Like I said, I already cut out the fabric, and I have my very soft wadding ironed on it. I'm also going to be using the material as my lining, because I presently do not have a lining that will go with the material, this color precisely. So but it's fine that way. I already cut out the lining as well, and for the top I already have the lining. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'll be joining this. I am also going to join this lining. After joining, I'm going to insert my cup. Now this is a ready-made cup. You can either go with your wadding like I have here. You can be fine if you want it this way. Yes, you're good. And if you still want to fix your ready-made cup, you can go ahead to do that. Now there are 2 types. We have the full cup and we also have this half cup. So it depends on what you want. And if you want to just go ahead with your wadding, you are good to go. Now I'm going to be joining this. Like I said, I'll be joining this as well. And I'm going to turn this base. I'm not going to turn the neck. I'm going to use the lining for this. I'm going to use this to turn the base as well. So I'll join that, then I'll show you the results. Now coming to the base of the front. Here is the middle, and here is the middle. So I am going to be working with the width of just 5 inches, and 5 inches will give us 2.5 inches. To give us 2.5 inches. Don't forget that all these measurements, by the time we are done sewing, it's still going to increase. So if you want to increase that as well, you can go ahead and increase it. Now the depth, it's going to stop around the navel. like either on top of your navel, you want it below the navel, or you don't want it to get to the navel at all, you can always go with whatever measurements you want. So I will be going with 6.5 inches. Don't know if you can see. Okay, so we have the width of 2.5 inches and the depth of 6.5 inches. What I'm going to do is just a slant shape, so I can have something like a V. You can also, just create a design of your own. It's not a must you have the same V shape, all right? You can just go with any shape of your choice. Now we can see what we have here. Okay, so by the time I'm done joining this, I am going to tell us what we're going to do next. So this is what we have after cutting it out, and after joining, we are still going to fix our net. We'll attach the net to it, so I'll come back to show us how we're going to go about that. Remember, the width we used is 2.5 inches. We used 2.5 inches for the width measurements, and the depth for the back now I'll be working with just 1 inch. And always remember to slant the shoulder slant of 1 inch. So I'm going to be cutting out this. And I am also going to open this back just a bit, like 3 inches or 2.5 inches. And that's because like I said, the dress is not going to have a zipper, so it will be easy to put on. I'm going to slit this just a little. That's it. So here is it. This is how it looks like, so that it can be easy to put it on. So that's for the back. After joining, this is the result. We have this is the lining, and I also told us I'm going to be joining this base. Now to attach this, first we're going to place this way. You bring it, this is the back, so it's going to, this is the front part. So we have to bring it, okay, let me use this part now. We have to bring it like this, like get the middle, and then the lining, we'll place the lining on it like this. All right, so that we can join it. Now I have this hook which I want to attach to the middle part of the breast part. Now what I'm going to do is I brought my joining from here. You can see I started joining from this end, and I stopped here so that I can have access to insert this. This is not compulsory anyway, but just in case you love it the same way it is, the same way I want to do mine, you can go ahead, and you always get this from any of the tailoring shops to where you buy your normal materials. So after joining to this point, I left this so that I can gain access to fix this. So the same way I've done that, I am also going to start joining just from, I'm also going to start joining here majorly just this very end. All right, I'm also going to join this very end. Now we have this. After joining this is the lining too, and this is the top part of the half length. So what we're going to do is I'm going to place this in this manner, and I'm going to place the lining as well so that I can join from this part all through, and I'm going to top stitch. You can see is a top sewing on it, just to secure this very edge, so that after that, this is what we're going to have. You can see the outcome now. So after I've done this, I am also going to join the veil nets here, and I'll have to bring back the lining. As after joining your veil net, I need to join the veil net first, then I'll find my way to join this at the very end, just this base, then I'll turn it inside out before we continue with the base. That means we have to place the front half length. Now you can see I've joined the net. All you need to do is place the net this way, place it on your fabric, and I started joining from the inside, following the shape. All right, now that I've done that, I am going to use this is the lining for the breast tube, the half length. So I am going to use my lining now to turn this, to turn the edges. I'm also going to notch. That's the first thing. I'm going to notch first, and after that, because my material now has no lining, I'm going to make sure I have a neat edge. So I'm going to weave this, and I'm going to place it down like this, and I am going to stitch on it in such a way that by the time I turn it to the front, you can see how it looks like on the front part of the fabric. So I am going to continue to do that to the rest part of the material. Having done that, the next thing to do is to join the shoulder. So I'm going to bring the back, but first I already taped the back, just tape like a strip of fabric. You can use a strip of the same fabric. Either you turn it inside out, or from outside you turn it inside, just to have a neat edge like this. So what I'm going to be doing now is to join. I'm just going to join the shoulder. So after joining the shoulder, I'm going to, here I have my fabric. This is going to be the middle part. So I made the middle part 2 inches, while the length of what I have here is about 30 inches, and that's because I am going to be pleating it on the neck. So now this is 2 inches and this is 3.5 inches. You can decide to still reduce yours if you want. You can reduce it, and if you want something longer than this, you can still go ahead to do that. Now from this middle point, I am going to start joining like this from the middle. So I'm going to be pleating the fabric. I'm going to be pleating it until I get to the back part here. So I'm going to stop here, and it's going to be standing like this. So all that's what I'm going to be doing. Then I'll come back to show us the next thing. This is what the result is. And like I said, here is where I attached the pleats on the neck. So there's need to top stitch so it will stand. But inside of the fabric, I have my soft stay and soft stay. That's an interface, soft one, ironed on it so as to allow it stand just the way it is. And at the back as well, I have my buttonhole, so I can easily fix my button to the other side, and I can easily put it on. So the next thing to be done is fixing the sleeve, which you can go ahead to fix whatever choice of sleeve you desire. And in case you want me to upload the tutorial of the particular sleeve I have on this dress, once I'm able to get 100 comments, I'm going to upload the tutorial in my next video. So I guess that's the end. And if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly subscribe. Please like the video and share also for others to learn. I'm just going to complete this part and I'm done with my dress. It's val period and I'm sure this is going to fit just just perfect for the season. I love you all. Mwah.